done at the bottom of the control panel on your screen. Welcome, Brian.
Thank you very much, Justin, and welcome to all of our attendees this morning. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy day to join us for this webinar. I'm going to try to keep it about 20 minutes because I know your time is very valuable, and we want to get you back out in the field and doing what you do well, which is selling and seeing prospects and getting in front of people. But I thought I'd speak this month on ways to speed up the underwriting process. There's certainly a lot of tools you can use, a lot of procedures that you can do on the front end of writing a piece of business that will really speed up the whole process on the back end. You can take guesswork out of the process, make it faster and more efficient, and overall just make the whole process a little less painful. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with financial brokerage and the monthly webinars, I do host these every month over here, usually one of the first Wednesdays of the month, and we have a different topic every month as well. But every topic is designed to help you with your business, either get in front of more people more often or work more efficiently. So this month we'll be speaking about ways to smooth out that underwriting process. So moving on here, I actually developed 7, we call them prescriptions for speeding up or easing the underwriting process. We'll be reviewing a couple of tools that you can use on the front end to help with pre-screening, whether they're electronic or in paper or a live body that we have on staff here. We'll also talk about some specific programs that carriers have and specific products when you know that you're going to have an adverse underwriting decision, and you can make the whole process a little faster by using table shaving or simplified issue type products. Online applications work even when the client is healthy, and you just want it to go through a little faster. And if all else fails, accidental death policies are oftentimes overlooked, so I want to touch on that as well. But starting off here, the NAILBA guide. Some of you may have seen this before. I forget what NAILBA stands for. It is an acronym, but they have put together this. It's a 122-page underwriting guide, and it's full of questionnaires. Just about every condition under the sun is out there. It seems like every type of cancer and every heart problem, and they have one for diabetes, and they even have questionnaires for various avocations. If you have clients jumping out of airplanes or diving under the ocean, they've got one for that. So all the questionnaires are out there. Really increases the accuracy of any pre-screening that you do with the client. I know we were all taught first week in the business about field underwriting and asking people questions about their health and their prescriptions. Well, a lot of times it goes beyond just a listing of the prescriptions. If we want an accurate answer from an underwriter up front, they need to know a little bit more, and they have questions that are specific to the condition. If you have a diabetic, I can tell you that the underwriter is going to want to know their A1C level. When were they diagnosed? Is it type 1 or type 2? What medications are they taking, and do they have any other types of complications? You're probably not going to know that just off the top of your head. And if you do know all those questions for diabetes, you might not know the questions for heart problems and various types of cancers. So this underwriting guide is available on our website at fd-inc.com. I don't have a screenshot there, but it's easy to find, and at the top, just click on the Underwriting tab, and you'll see that right there. It's listed there immediately. So any of our contracted producers certainly have access to that, and we encourage you to use that NAILBA underwriting guide when your clients have got some health problems. Now, a little newer version of this, sort of taking it to the next level. Also under that underwriting tab, we have the X-Ray software. X-Ray is a company that has put together the software program, and it really does what a human can't do, at least that quickly. They can evaluate over 100,000 specific underwriting rules, and these are based on over 600 potential questions. And depending on the type of answer you want, the software can do this in less than a second, or it could also send the information off to real underwriters at the carriers. So you put in the client's information, and if you answer yes to a particular health problem, the software with the reflexive questioning is then going to bring up additional questions that were not there before. And if you keep giving it yes answers, it's going to keep giving you more questions until it's drilled down to the level of detail that the underwriters are going to want to see. And I think there's about 4 or 5 carriers that have uploaded their entire underwriting book into this X-ray software to give you the ability to receive an instant answer. You're going to know the table ratings or maybe the preferred or standard rate classes from all of those carriers listed one after another, just within a second or so. Now, several other carriers have signed on to X-ray. I would probably say we've got about 10 of them right now. They don't have the instant quoting capability, but they do have, or you do have the ability to send all of these answers to the underwriter at those carriers, especially if you have to freehand type any data that isn't covered by the over 600 potential questions. The software can't read your writing. We still need a human being to do that. So you then have the ability to select what carriers you want the information to go to. It's sent to them electronically, and then you'll receive answers back. I always get my first answer back from one of the carriers within about an hour of submitting the information. And all of them have responded by 48 hours. Most come in that 1 to 2 day range. That's about what you can expect with the X-ray software. But once again, you don't have to guess. You don't have to apply to multiple carriers just to try to find the best rate for your client. It saves you a lot of time and money and hassle, and saves the client a lot of time too, and is really going to lead to you having a much better chance of placing that piece of business and ultimately getting paid for it. So that's the X-ray software. Now, technology is great, but sometimes we want to speak with a live body. And when you come across those instances, we do have an in-house underwriting team here at Financial Brokerage. Now, our lead underwriter, Mike Nielsen, he has been employed as an underwriter at a couple different insurance carriers, and he's got at least a couple decades of experience doing this. And that really helps because he can speak the underwriting language. Those of us out in the field and with a sales background realize that underwriters seem to have a language all their own. They seem to think a little bit differently than we do, and sometimes it's tough to communicate. So it's really helpful to have an underwriter who is on your side and who can sort of interpret what we're trying to tell him about the client, put that into the underwriter's language, and make a good case for your client and see what kind of rate class we can expect from the carriers. Now, once we do determine which carrier is best to look at, Mike Nielsen is our lead underwriter's name. He can actually help you develop a cover letter to accompany your application, and this is a tremendous help. We want to guide the underwriter down the right path. A lot of times if there are lots of health problems, the underwriter is going to investigate every little thing and might be investigating something which really isn't a big deal. And we want to help guide them the right way and give them as much detail as possible to really speed up the underwriting process. We know it's going to take a while if they have to order doctor's records anyway, so let's not have it take any longer than it really needs to. One other thing that Mike will do is he'll conduct an automatic review of unfavorable underwriting decisions. In fact, I had a call from a producer just yesterday. He had a client declined with one carrier, and he called to see if we had another carrier that might be able to take the client. And so no sooner had I left a message from Mike, about 5 minutes later he walked over to me and says, I was just in the middle of sending an email to this very agent with some recommendations. So he was doing the review before the agent even knew it and even thought to ask about it. So a tremendous ally to have on your side there is a live body to help you with underwriting. Now, that can certainly speed up the process if you know which carrier to go to. Now, let's say that we've determined that we've got a carrier, or we have a client, I should say, we know is going to receive a table rating, and we've drilled down and found the most likely carrier for that, or the one with the least amount of tables. But if we know that, then sometimes we'll look at some of the carriers that have table shave programs. And what a table shaving is if you have, let's say, a client who's going to be a table 4, they have a system where if the client qualifies, they're going to underwrite and call the client a table 4, but they're going to issue it at a table 2 rate class. They're going to shave off those 2 tables. And several carriers have table shaves available. If I remember correctly, Aviva can shave up to 3 tables. Lincoln Benefit anywhere from 2 to 4. And Lincoln Financial can shave, I want to say 3 to 4. Mutual of Omaha can shave 1 to 2 tables off. Now, all of these carriers can do this table shave on permanent coverage. It's for universal life only. One exception is the FIT program. That's through Mutual of Omaha. They're the only one I know of that will table shave on term insurance policies. In fact, they actually give us a leg up on this here. They provide a questionnaire. So you can go out to your client when you're taking the application, fill out the table shave questionnaire, and you're going to know with 100% certainty right then and there if your client qualifies for the table shave. They can take off 1 or 2 tables depending on how they answer the questions, and you can let them know what's really going to happen. The other table shaves, we can inquire ahead of time, but we don't have that same level of certainty that we do with Mutual of Omaha. So that's a great one to use when you come across those hard-to-place cases. Moving on to the next prescription for faster underwriting, and this is similar to table shaves, I guess, where we know the client is going to fall into a certain health range. If we know that and we know we're going to pay a little higher price, why not look at a simplified issue type of product? We avoid the pyramid exam, so the client doesn't have to have a visit from the nurse. They're not going to get stuck with a needle for that blood draw. The underwriting uses a very broad range of criteria, usually through about a table 2 or a table 4. So they're not looking to precisely fit them into a rate class. They either fit into this really broad category or they don't. They're going to be accepted or they're going to be declined. And because of that, we see a very fast underwriting turnaround on anything that's simplified issue. Usually about a week is what a person could expect. And of course, if the underwriting goes faster, policy gets issued faster, you get paid faster. Now, simplified issue can really encompass many different types of policies. Probably the most common one we think of are the non-med term insurance policies. Now, we offer about 4 or 5 carriers with these. A lot of folks might refer to this as mortgage term. You fill out the application. There might be a phone interview with the client, but that's it. They can get up to $250,000, in some cases $350,000 of coverage, and there's no exam. It's a very simple way of doing business. Final expense insurance would also fit in this category. Usually $10,000, $20,000 policies with seniors. The application is very simple. In many cases, you know by how they answer the questions if they're going to be accepted or not. And if they're not, you probably don't want to even turn in the application. That's an easy way to do business. Something we don't want to forget here are term conversions. And I'd say this is even easier than simplified issue. There is no underwriting when you're doing a conversion. What you need to do is fill out the app and collect a check, and the client has a new permanent life policy in place. Similar to conversions, a couple of carriers offer what we call term exchanges, where a client can essentially convert to another carrier's permanent plan. They have to fit within certain criteria, but if they do, you can convert Company A's term to Company B's universal life. Company B may have a better product in some cases than what Company A is offering. And the 5th item here I'll speak about is the TOP program. This is offered by Transamerica and gives your clients the ability to receive up to $1 million of new term life insurance without the paramedic exam. They will essentially top off their existing term policy. And this is the one here where they can get new term insurance on an exchange type program. Aviva is the one that offers the other exchange for a permanent plan. But here they can get a new term policy, save themselves a lot of money if budget is an issue. And that would be the simplified issue products. Now, online applications, that's another way to get business through faster. And this works even if your client doesn't have health problems, there's no paperwork. Because of that, it's error-free. The computers will not let you submit an application online. If there's an error, it's going to stop you until you've corrected the problem. And errors or missed boxes, missed signatures cause a lot of delays a lot of times with applications that would otherwise go through quickly on a very healthy client. In fact, these go through so fast on average, we see about a 14-day faster underwriting turnaround than we do with traditional paper applications. And I think because of that, 10% more of the online policies or applications will ultimately place in force. And think about that. If you, let's say you only wrote 10 life applications last year, and you made $1,000 on each one of them. If you place 10% more, that's another $1,000 in your pocket. And do the math. If you write 100 apps, that's another 10 grand in your pocket there. So increasing your placement by 10% can make a lot of difference. I don't think there are too many of us out there that wouldn't like to have an extra grand or more over the course of the year. The last item I'll speak about here are the accidental death policies. And let me put in just one little plug here before I get into this too. If you have any questions, you can type them in on the screen. We do have all the lines muted, and I'll do my very best to get you an answer on this webinar here. But the accidental death policies, I look at these as a good resource and something that's very often overlooked when we have a decline or a client is very highly rated, so highly rated that there's no way they're going to accept the policy. They're just not going to pay that much money. Now, the underwriting for accidental death policies is based on lifestyle, not a person's health. So that's why we can get these highly rated folks and declines issued with an accidental death policy. As long as they're not racing cars and jumping out of airplanes and diving down to shipwrecks at the bottom of the ocean, they can probably get one of these policies here. And it's really a great alternative for a lot of your uninsurable clients. And we have, I think, 3 carriers now that offer accidental death. They each cap it at $250,000. But if you stack them on top of another, you can get your client up to $750,000 of coverage on an accidental death type of basis. Won't cover them if they die of cancer or heart attack, but you know what? No one's going to cover these folks in those instances. So this is a case where something is better than nothing. So to recap, the 7 prescriptions for quicker underwriting we have on our website, fb-inc.com, the NAILBA guide, the X-ray software, also access to an in-house underwriter. And these items all help with pre-screening ahead of time. You know your client's got a problem. We don't know who the best company to go to would be. Once we know what company to go to, who's going to offer what rate class, we might want to look at table shaving or even simplified issue as an alternative. Whether they're healthy or not so healthy, online applications will speed up your process, help you get paid more quickly. And if all else fails, there's always the accidental death policies available there. So I don't see any questions just yet. I'll put in a little plug for next month's webinar that I'm going to be hosting with one of my annuity counterparts here, Matt Nutzman. We'll be speaking about one of the areas of both the life and annuity industry that is really growing like gangbusters now, and that's hybrid or linked benefit policies. They take a base life or a base annuity product and put a long-term care benefit on top of it. That gives your clients a lot of guarantees they wouldn't have with the traditional LTC, and certainly alleviates a lot of the objections that people typically have. So hope you can join us. I don't have the date in front of me, but it should be on a Wednesday and very early in the month of February. So don't think we have any questions, so I would like to thank all of you for attending this morning and wish you a very productive day, and I look forward to having you with us again next month.